So this is an interesting one because I, J Wise, I'm an electrician. I do electrical testing in social housing. So I go into council properties. And yeah, this gas engineer, he was working in social housing and he done a madness. So let's get into this one.
A housing association gas engineer who stabbed a tenant with a machete after carrying out a gas check has been jailed. Akil Jacobs had attended a sanctuary housing property in Devizes, Wiltshire, to carry out an inspection of the boiler last summer. 22 days later, he returned unannounced and robbed the occupants at knife point, brandishing a machete. During the incident, the male occupant, a man aged in his 30s, was stabbed in the face. He was treated at the scene by Dorset and Somerset Air Ambulance medics who arrived in a helicopter. His injury, which sliced his salivary glands, took several months to heal. The perpetrator and the victim only knew each other through the housing association. The 32-year-old father of Colwell School Close in Gloucester pleaded guilty to the robbery of £2,150 in cash and the possession of a machete in a public place. At Salisbury Crown Court on the 3rd of January, he was jailed for 7 years, just weeks after the birth of his baby. Sanctuary Housing confirmed that Jacobs was sacked immediately after they were made aware of the incident. £150.
So obviously I always like to get into the mind frame and like dissect certain things. So obviously this video was sent to me a couple of days ago and I was driving. So I'm listening to it and I'm thinking to myself, like, why would he go back 22 days later? Like, he must have seen something because allegedly, obviously, it says in the report that they did not know each other. So they were unfamiliar with each other. That was the first time they ever met, the gas engineer and the victim. So I'm thinking, what did he go back for 22 days later? Like, what was he ruminating on? What did he see in there that made him think, let me go back? Because, you know, he's targeted this individual or this house for a reason. So maybe when he was in the yard, you never know. Maybe the tenant, the victim, may have had a Rolex watch or was bragging about some Rolex watch or something like that. The gas engineer must have seen something. He must have been in there and thought, right, this is like Aladdin's cave. And he must have obviously went back for something, because what's the chances of you going to a yard and being able to rob them and get 2 bags? Like, most people don't have money like that in their house. Like, this is 2025, 2024. People don't have money in their yard. Yeah, like maybe years ago and that, you get me, old people have, well, I mean, old people probably still have 20 grand in the mattress and all kinds of nonsense and that. But people don't have money in their yard. So, I don't know. Maybe, and obviously I'm not justifying nothing. At the end of the day, yeah, we don't know. We can only go off what we know, and we just know a man's gone to the yard and chopped someone with a machete. Like, bro, you're a fucking gas engineer. Why are you robbing people? You never know. Maybe the victim, who's the tenant, maybe, you get me. Obviously, look, when I'm in tenants' yards and that, we have off the record conversations. Yeah, them man, they openly tell me, yeah, man, just come out of jail. Or yeah, I've been to this ACAT prison and that. So certain man like to show off. I've had tenants offer me weed. I don't even know if they're trying to give it to me for free or they're just trying to shop to me. Obviously, I don't smoke, so I just decline it. I'm not even going no further with this conversation. So you never know. Maybe the tenant, maybe he gave a little few hints that he's a trapper. We don't know who this guy is. So maybe the tenant was giving off a few hints that he was a trapper, because there's a reason why this madman has gone back to this tenant's yard. Yeah? And managed to get 2 grand. Most people, like I said, most people don't have no money in their yard and that. But obviously, whether the guy had 10 grand or 100 grand, blood, how you go in there and chop a man with a machete? Blood, as a gas engineer as well, man. Come on, man. You're a professional person. Self-employed, you can earn that a week if you get the right jobs and the right working. But obviously, if you're just doing gas safety certificates, well then, yeah, you're going to be on some any money, $250 a day or some bullshit like that or whatever, in it. But still, it ain't no excuse. But yeah, I just tried, like, when I was driving my car back home, I was just trying to think, like, I wonder what he saw. He saw something, or the tenant let off a bit of information, or he heard something. Because the guy didn't go back there to rob a man for his TV. Like, think about it this way, man. I'm not trying to put nothing in no one's head right now. But what I'm saying is, if you're just trying to pick on vulnerable people, well, you can understand what sort of vulnerable people would be an easy target. I ain't gonna say, yeah. So why would he pick a 30-year-old, somewhat healthy, somewhat fit, somewhat willing to give you pushback potentially? Why would he target him over someone who's, you get me, vulnerable and that? So yeah, just thinking like maybe, I don't know, maybe the tenant was bragging about Rolex watches or something like that, or maybe, I don't know, there was a reason why he went back, but that's not a justification for even going back and chopping him with a machete. So yeah, he's lucky he got 7 years, blood. Lucky he got 7 years. You went there, this is premeditated. You waited 22 days, you went there, you came armed, you chopped a man, blood. Like, there's man here that are getting 5 years for a phone robbery. You went to a man's yard to do a burglary, aggravated burglary. Right then and there, aggravated burglary, that's like 10 years. Let alone chopping man with a machete, GBH. Blood, he's lucky he didn't get fucking birded off with a 15 or a 20. I'm surprised they didn't throw the book at him. But that's what I'm saying, like, there might even be a little bits and pieces more to the story. Because I can't see how the fuck a man could get 7 years for doing a premeditated burglary. You chopped a man and you was a professional person as well. Like, you know, if he was a crackhead or something like that, which he might be, just because he's a gas engineer, I don't mean he's not a crackhead. But what I'm saying is, like, if it was some crackhead off the street and that, then, you know what I mean, innit? Like, the judge and that will look at it a certain way. But yo, you're a professional person. You have a job. You have no reason to be going and trying to lick someone down and that. So, but the comment section apparently was kind of mad. Like, when I was reading the comments, other people were commenting saying, oh yeah, man, there's a lot of racism in this comment section. But to be fair, I didn't see no racism. I just see people saying, well, as in usual suspect kind of thing and that. Anyway, man, that's my little take on it. There's a reason why he went back. I would love to know more, because it ain't just, oh yeah, he randomly picked him. Nah. That tenant was letting off, I don't know, the tenant might shot or something like that. I don't know, innit? But there's more to the story than just a madman just targeting some random person and chopping them with a machete. Anyway, man, that's it for today, man. Stay wise. Tunnel.